Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I've decided to prepare for you a wildcard draft. A lot of people are activating the free hit in game week 13, but for me the best time to activate the wildcard for the first part of the season is right now. I don't see a better way because in game week 16 we are getting 5 transfers and you can basically readjust your squad immediately. So I think now is the best swing fixture that you can opt for. Of course, there is one big elephant in the room, and that is the Chelsea versus Arsenal game, which is going to be tough for several people. And I see now why people are activating the free hit. But to be fair, I think that you can get away with just activating the wild card. You would still want your Arsenal defenders there. You would still want some Chelsea assets in here. You can bench them this week. So yeah, it can be all done properly. And I think that you can prepare for the season up ahead because let's be real, after Chelsea, it's Brentford, Villa, Wolves, Everton, Brighton, again Villa, Bournemouth. Up until 6th of January, Arsenal have a nice clear run of fixtures. And Chelsea have a mixed bag either way. And if you are opting for one of their or several of their players, I think you should be rotating them with someone else. Now, the best teams to target, in my opinion, on that wild card, even though Liverpool are in atrocious form, it's still Liverpool. West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, Brighton, Spurs, Wolves, Leeds, Fulham, up until Arsenal, and even after Arsenal, I see Burnley as a fixture. So literally, I couldn't see a better time to invest in Liverpool. It's now or never for them. So I think you should be looking at some Liverpool assets to add to your team. Manchester City is another team that I would highly recommend, and I would highly recommend probably a triple up there. Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, Chelsea, Brighton. It doesn't scream like a hard run of fixtures. United is also good. You have to be cautious there because Kune is injured. And Bumo is leaving for AFCON pretty soon, so you have to be careful in that regard. Newcastle, another team where I think investing in them will not be a mistake, so I think Liverpool, City, United and Newcastle should be the prime teams. You can get players from Crystal Palace, obviously, with United, with Burnley, with Fulham, with Leeds, with Fulham again. I think the run is clear. Brentford have a nice run, so you can invest there as well. So I think we have a nice plethora of players. Bournemouth is here, even though Semenyo is out, we can still plan something. So let's go and try to build a team as much as possible, and then we are going to readjust, of course. Let's see how much money I have, because I'm completely unaware of my budget, which is not something to be proud of, but regardless, I want to see what is the money there. 99.7 million, so I'm on a pretty low scale. I would say several people got more, so I will build a team with a pretty low budget, and with that budget I think that we can safely reduce here and there if our team needs it and if our team requires some changes. Now we're going to start with the most important thing, and that's captaincy. For me, I don't see here a week with Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Forest, Sunderland, where I wouldn't be captaining Erling Haaland. And of course, the prime target of fixtures is up until game week 16, because after that you can safely readjust your mistakes on a wild card, and that's why I really enjoyed it, using it. This time this was my original plan in the game, but my team was so shit that I had to use it earlier. But if I was still with wildcard chip, now was the time that I was going to use it. Adding Erling Haaland is one of the most obvious things, and for me he is going to cost the most money probably for everyone else, because he's 14.9, he's owned by 71% of the game, and I am one of the people that do not own him. So yeah, I think that these numbers are pretty high for me, but I think they will be on the lower side for you. Keep adding Manchester City players. For me, it's a necessity. I think that there are several options. First of all, I think that Mateus Nunes or O'Reilly are the two options that I'll be looking at defensively. Of course, Donnarumma is also an option. And if I have to be fair, in order to avoid the rotation, after Manchester City lost in UCL, I just don't see a world where Trafford is used. So I would say that Donnarumma is the safest option and I would restore him in my team. I think that it's a nice player to add and I think we have a nice coverage there. I'm going to stop now from City because I want to see what else I can fit from the other teams that are having a nice run of fixtures and then react elsewhere and select another player. Up front, I'm going to finish the front line because I think the front line is pretty locked for me. I think that the one player that I'm locking in is Thiago. Thiago at 6.4 looks pretty alright. He has Burnley. He's a 6.5 at the moment. Of course, people got him earlier. He is 16% owned already. So everyone that plays the game is getting him. You have to avoid one top fixture against Arsenal. And what better way to avoid it than selecting a player from Chelsea in that regard or against Burnley. So here you can opt for someone like Sar in midfield, but my favorite option from this bunch is Enzo in midfield. I know it's strange adding Enzo as my first midfielder, but he's a direct answer to the benching of Thiago in Gameweek 13, so we have to pick a player that will work fine. He's on penalties up until Palmer returns. I don't know if Palmer will play every game as of now. They are doing fine without him, so I think that they might rotate a lot. So yeah, and seems to have the spot nailed, so I'm putting him with Burnley here. Moving then to Manchester United, I think that this week is harsh, but all in all, I think that Bruno Fernandes, I know that several people will disagree with me. My favorite option was going to be Mbeumo here, but he is going to AFCON. The next best option for me is Cunha, but he is injured, so the third option that I'm opting for is Bruno Fernandes. He's still on penalties. It's pretty important to out penalty takers, which he fits the bill perfectly. Thiago, Haaland and Enzo at some point will be a penalty taker. So we already are selecting 4 penalty takers and I think this is the right approach. Defensively, I don't trust them. I don't trust the next team that I'm going to pick players from, but I want some of their players and that is going to be Virgil. I know it's atrocious at the moment, but he's still conceding 3 goals and finishing up on 3 points. He's getting those DEFCONs. He will score a goal. He will do bits. I know for 6 million you're not getting a DEFCON machine, but I think that Virgil is a nice coverage for Liverpool. Offensively, I don't know how to get there. Should I get there at the moment? Where to go there? So I'm observing up until game week 16 the front there. So I'm picking Virgil in that regard. Let's not waste more time and lock in the cheap keeper that we go for, Dubravka. Perfectly fine. After the struggles that I had with my benching order last week, I will talk about it. I already talked about it in a video and I will talk more about it in a future video. I would like to have 3 solid defenders, 1 rotation defender eventually that I can opt in, or this year I will opt for 2 4.0 defenders and that will be it. Honestly, I couldn't care less about the rotating defenders. With 5 transfers up ahead, you can react quickly, so I think you should be picking 1 rotating midfielder with Thiago and Enzo. That's enough, and everyone else should be playing week in and week out. And speaking about playing week in and week out, I need an Arsenal defender, that's obvious. And the obvious choice is Timber, who is 6.3. What the hell? What? Didn't he start at 5.5? Yes. What? Okay, that's not cheap anymore. Saliba is cheaper, so get in. I know that he's not getting the amazing returns, but with Gabriel out on set piece threat, I think that Saliba will return. So, what the hell? 6.3 for Timber. How expensive is Calafiori? 5.8. Yeah, I am selecting Saliba. This is a lock. And the final defender here, I already own City. It's the Newcastle asset that I already mentioned. And here I'm going to go for... So Thiago and Burn are similar price. Shar is 5.3. So we are wasting the least amount of money in Thiago. Here I might opt for a Crystal Powered asset just to have him in my back. So a DEFCON machine. It's Chris Richards, so I'm wasting a little bit more money there. And Mukiele, Alderete, is he playing? No. So Bauer, not now, Bauer. Okay, he's expensive, so it's Mukiele as a backup option. The defense is solid, the defense is done. I'm going to interchange Thiago and Richards based on fixtures, but for now, I think that's locked. Saliba and Van Dijk are playing every week, and I can have a solid asset there. Now, still, we want a Crystal Palace asset, I would say. We would like a Bournemouth asset. I don't know if I should go for Senesi or not, but not the biggest offense of Bournemouth's defense as of recent, so I would be steering clear. So Mateta is an option, Votemar is an option that I really like, but from Newcastle's attack, I think that this guy is flying under the radar. I think that at 6.1, Everton, he's playing every time of every game, not every time, but a lot of times in every game he's scoring goals, and I think that he will continue delivering. Of course, if he's benched, it's sad, but you're wasting only 6.1 in that spot. I think that with that, Mateta position is locked in my team, and I have 13 million to finalize my team, and I think I'm going here. Phil Foden, I feel like he's going to return massively, and now we need to find a 5.5 player. I don't have an Arsenal attacker, which is not something that I enjoy, to be fair, and if I had to do the transfer, I would get Rice. The issue is that 1.4 million behind, which for most of you will not be an issue, but for me it is. So let's reassess what else can we go for. We go for a midfielder, and we're looking for 5.5. I think the options are very, very limited. So Pauline is here, Josh Cullen, Tavernier. Tavernier is an interesting option, but playing him week in and week out, I think my midfield is getting weaker that way, which is kind of an issue. So, I might be pushed to play Enzo more often, which is not a bad thing, to be fair. Like, he can score in every fixture, he's a Chelsea asset. I'll be probably looking to bring in Rice at some point, but where do I bring him? So if I sell Murphy now, I have to go for a cheaper asset here, which is not something that I like. I like Elliot Anderson, to be fair. He's one more assist now. He has one more assist now. He's getting the Defcons. So I think Elliot Anderson will fit here. They have an okay run that I didn't mention, and I have 0.2 to react. Of course, Mateta can go at some point, which can enable Saka, which can enable Rice, which can enable Eze. Foden to Eze, Bruno to Eze at some point is feasible, but I think now this is the approach. I know that this Arsenal lack of players is shit, like, but I cannot wrap my hands around picking someone over Foden, but probably that's the smart play. Yeah, Foden is great, but I think that here Eze, let's remove the filter. Not affordable, everything. So Eze or Rice here is a necessity, and I will be selecting Rice because he's more nailed. Now players will return for Arsenal, and I think that will cause some issues. So this is the team. I think it's a good wildcard with the limited budget that I have. I'm even keeping 1.3 in the bank. If you can afford Saka in this Rice spot, more the better. If you can't, Rice is an option. I think this team is solid. I can rely on it every week. Apart from next week, Thiago is going to play every week. So I need to find benching from those midfielders, which can be Elliot Anderson in most cases. But the good thing is that in 14, it's Wolves. So that's even better. And from then on, I can bench, I can play, I can do all of those amazing stuff. So Aston Villa asset I'm missing. If I was on a free hit, Rodgers was going to be in. But for now, I think that I'm going to stay away from them because the fixture run then turns for Brighton, Arsenal. Then I can opt for 16 onwards. But then it's Chelsea and Arsenal. So yeah, I think that I'm in an okay position at this particular moment. I want to hear your opinion about this team. I think it's great. I think that we have some nice players here and there, and yeah, with limited budget, that's what I can cook. Of course, if Liverpool starts delivering, I want to get some of their players, but for now, I'm going to stay away from them. This is going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I want to hear your opinion about this wildcard draft. Where do you think I can improve? Consider my budget. This is a non-regulate, without restrictions, yeah, sorry. So yeah, if you enjoy my content and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's completely for free, and you're going to help me reach 10,000 subscribers. That's a lot of people, but yeah, we will keep pushing. Deadline stream, I think I'm going to cover away early deadline stream because I will be traveling at that day. So yeah, I will be live early. So yeah, that's the plan today. That's the plan for that week. I think that you are going to enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I will be seeing you soon with more FPL and UCL fantasy content. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.